Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the Think Show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so called African American didn't find their way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. The other night, or all the time on African Americans Ain't Africans, we implore our listeners to think for themselves. What do you say? You see the world like everybody else. What's your take on the world? How do you see it? One of the things that the so called African American, Negro, Black, the indigenous people of America, one of the things that they're starting to do, they're starting to say, well, if we're from America, why are we not on our land? Because we have accepted terms that take us away from the land, like African American, like Black, like Hebrew Israelite, like Moor, like Greek. All these terms we confuse ourselves with and who we say we are and who we say our children are. Hell, you even got a mayor in Jackson, Mississippi that calls himself a Pan African. Those people win, they don't. The land is your power. And that's what they've been fighting all these years for to keep you from. Well, tonight, I'm sorry, this afternoon, we have a different perspective. We're going to look at it from our point of view, from a brother who's been studying this for a long time. And hey, Albertha, how you doing, man? And enough of me yapping. I'm handing it over to Michael Blocker. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
Oh, everything is great. The land back, man. That's a lot on everybody's mind because the land is our power. Being that we're away from it, obviously we don't have no power as a nation of people. Could you explain how that happened and explain how we get that back?
Yeah, what happened was that when we got comfortable as we are now with situations and circumstances that was created by our oppressor. We developed what's known as a Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome occurs when you identify with your oppressor. And when we start identifying and sympathizing with our oppressor, we become assimilated. And during that assimilation, we become controllable. And the key thing here is the control. As long as they have you focused on Christianity, African American, the out of Africa theory, all these theories has one thing in common. They separate you from any landmass, especially this landmass known as America, our home. And it
Why do you
was system. Go
go ahead,
ahead.
sir? No, go ahead.
And it's systematically done. They started through education and religion. They programmed you. They taught you that you need an education. Okay. For what? You don't need an education or a degree to start a business. It was done so that you can become a workforce rather than a free thinking people. And right now, it's became perpetual to us that when we go to school, we're to get out of school and get a job, go to college and get a better job. It doesn't work like that. They left out one little detail. When you finish school, you have no life skills, no work experience. When you graduate college, same situation. You go to college, you spend 4 years in a college learning a specialty, and when you come out of college, you go to work for somebody else. Why not do this? If you're going to go to college and you're going to specialize in something, set up a business in that same specialty that you're going into in your first year of college. Hire people to run it. When you get out of college, you have already been established. And when you open the door and they hand you your diploma, you walk off the stage and sit down in your office. You don't need a job. You already have a job. You hire people. Same thing they've done to you. They turned you into a workforce instead of a free thinking force. You've been programmed to do things according to a schedule. Everything they've done has been methodical. They trained you from a child to an adult to do something between the hours of 9 and 8 to 5, 9 to 5. Even your school scheduling is on a work schedule till you got comfortable with doing that. And your parents didn't tell you about, oh, let's start a business. You need to get a business. You need to get an education. Well, that's not the answer either. They proved it to you during the pandemic. Let's take that for an example. Remember, they told you that all non-essential businesses would be closed. Then they closed all the schools and colleges. That should have been your first hint that you didn't need it. But we didn't listen. We kept right on going.
What is that? What is that disease where we don't? I mean, stuff that happens, we just don't. I'm talking about as a nation, as a group. We never seem to get it. I mean, a few people here and there, of course, always, all the time. But it seems like the masses never get it.
Okay. Here's what you have. Uh, yeah, out of the 100%, out of the majority of the indigenous inhabitants of America, 85% of the people are compliant. 10% of the people are gender confused, and the other 5% are the free thinkers.
That seems about right. Right on it.
This is why our people are so confused. And because we're easily persuaded. If whatever sounds good to us, that's what we follow. Why do you buy a new car? What will possess you to buy a new car?
So people can think I'm something that I'm not, better than something that I am.
Yeah, that's one reason. And the other reason is, do you fish carry?
No.
Okay, for the fisherman that's in the audience, when you want to catch a big mouth bass, you put something shiny on the hook. And you'll catch a big mouth bass all day long. They can't resist the shiny stuff. And what does a new car look like? Even a used car is always shiny, isn't it?
Shine.
It's shiny, it's blinding. The sun be beaming off of it.
Right.
That's what attracts you to it. And we creatures of habit. We like shiny things. We like the big mouth bass. We like shiny stuff. New. The word new is a trigger word. Long as they tell you something is new, you're going to buy it. The technology we're using today is 60 years old. but to you it's new because you're just seeing it. AI technology, we were doing that back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, but you're just now seeing it now. And they're presenting it to you as being new. Even your cell phones. This is all new. This is not all new. This is just being presented to you as new. Everything you see is old technology developed by your ancestors and plagiarized by your oppressors. From the day of conception to the day that you die, we have not had one single original thought in our mind. Every thought we've had has come from something that they gave us. Came straight out of books. Even the even your views, your point of views come from years of being told things that were not true, and we developed a life, created a lifestyle around those lies. So much to the point that we would go to our grave carrying those false beliefs as being true. No matter how many times we talk, no matter how many platforms we go on, they're not going to accept the truth because they are very comfortable with that fake lifestyle. Our men in the beauty salons worse than our women are. Hell, some of them prettier than our women when they come out of there. But that's because they're trying to keep up with social media. This is the fashion. Don't no woman want no man softer than she is. I mean, think about it. Man, a woman wants something she can hold on, she can feel safe with. You don't feel safe holding no roll of shaman in your hand, do you?
No.
We've gotten away from our original purpose here. We need to get back to the future. And that is, we need to get back to our connection to this land. This your home. Stop running around here letting people tell you who you are.
I mean, that gets me, all these immigrants coming over and they just telling you, and we okay, we just bow our heads and just, accept it.
Because that's what we do. Um, they've taken the bite out of most of us. After the 60s riots and the Rodney King riots became less and less because they started studying more and more your behavior. There was a book written in 1935. It was a book on public relations, and it broke it down by race, ethnicity, habit, everything. You know what the Negro was broken down, characterized as? Fun loving, easygoing, will pay his bills, but you got to catch him on payday. This was actually in the book. Now, I'm not making this up. And they also spoke that they love to gather. And if you get too many of them in one area, they will cause a collapse. A collapse in a neighborhood is when there is no growth. Look around your neighborhoods and see if it's not true. There's no growth in our neighborhoods. They're collapsing. And in the middle of all those collapse are all these churches. Just look around. Don't ever take my word for it. Look at it. Open your eyes and look in your own neighbor, in your backyards, and see if it's not true. Your neighborhoods are depleted because of what? Church is thriving, but your neighborhood is starving. We can turn that around. You want to take your land back? Stop selling your birthright. Stop agreeing to things that apply to you.
Could you give us some examples of that?
Yeah. Stop agreeing that you're African and that you're black. You're not neither one of those. Start standing up for who you are. Start confessing that you're indigenous or that you are an American Indian. When you start using those terms, because black means to be without form or invisible. So when you acknowledge yourself as being black, they don't see you. And you wonder why you don't get any results. Because you said you yourself made the statement that you don't exist. Same thing with white. White has the same definition as black, without form, invisible. So when you said Black Lives Matter and you don't get a rise out of your counterparts, ask yourself why. Because they don't see you. Stop agreeing to things that you're not. You wear black. You're not black. I'm copper color. I wear black as a statement to show the difference between black and the complexion of my skin.
So these cats that's going around now, I mean, they're just flooding the airways with this word black. These black supremacists, I call them, and they're very popular. Seems the masses just flock to them when the information is out there about the word black. What do you say to those cats?
You need to stop gatekeeping. They're
Gate,
gatekeepers.
yeah.
Yeah, and I tell them they can spell my name. You want me to spell my name for you? It's Blocker. You're a gatekeeper. Stop misleading your people. You say they're your people, stop misleading them. And if you don't understand that that you're not black, then I don't know what mirror you look in the morning, because that's all it takes. Every morning you get up, you should be able to see that that's not the color that you are when you look in that mirror. So why do you keep answering to it and building platforms to something that doesn't apply to you, and it has no tie, doesn't tie you to any landmass? I mean, what is the big thing? Do you crave validation from your oppressor that much that you will allow yourself to be degraded and humiliated just for their satisfaction? I mean, really?
Well,
You guys,
confidential informants do make $80,000 a year.
yeah, yeah, them guys get paid. They're on the payroll. They'll use not calling in the names, but we have some supposed to be indigenous leaders that were supposed to be speaking up for us, that coined certain phrases for us, that still stuck to us today, and we accepted those phrases. We don't have to call in names. You know who called you an African American.
Right. So getting back to this land thing, how should we be looking at ourselves with the land?
Well, the land is your power. You need to stop selling your birthright, your inheritance, for nickels and dimes so you can buy some new car with it or pay for an outrageous price for a house that you're paying for on your own land.
Right. Oh my God.
And then you got all the sense. Better wake up. You paying for something that you already own.
Over and over again.
And over and over again. You being recycled. But that's what we want. You build a $300,000 home on your own land and you pay somebody to build this house. And you think because you have a deed that you own the land. You do not own the land because you are paying taxes on it. If you own the land, for you people that think that deed is a ownership document, it's a registration document. To own land means that it's tax exempt. For all you scholars out there, you college graduates, when you own land, you own it. You don't pay taxes on it. You outright own it. And if you
One
look at your
one of the things that are that's going around to people who are searching, and one of the things they're coming up on are land patents. Could you talk about that a little bit?
yeah, okay, land patents. For all you indigenous individuals out here that's serious about doing your research, find your land patents. Every single one of you have land patents attached to your family's names. Look for the patents. There's two types of patents. There's a land grant patent, which is means that there's monies attached to that grant, to that property. There's monies being held in escrow in an account for that property. And then there's the land patent itself. So do your due diligence and get your land. Stop paying people to stay on your own land when you already have free land. Oh, and that old, while we on the land thing, that old 40 acres of the mule foolishness wasn't for you. It was for the slaves. Now, you wasn't the slave. This was for the Caucasian. Caucasian was the first slaves here. So that was their portion. They was the ones that was assigned the 40 acres and the mules. Stop asking people for something that you that don't apply to you.
Asanawa says, what about allodial titles?
Allodial titles is a patent.
Just that simple.
You have the authority to write your own patent. We are the only ones that can make our own patents. Your land, you do what you want on it, but you need to understand the law. You want to know how to get your land back? What state are you in?
Alabama.
Alabama. Okay. What you do is you look up the laws of Alabama concerning the land, and then you call me and we'll fix it. Call me and we'll fix it. Because I've actually done land patents for people, and they've been successful with ownership of their land. A land patent is the only document of ownership. A deed is not ownership. Because if it was, you wouldn't be paying taxes on the property that the house sits on. You paying rent for the land for that house to sit on that land.
Well, we have a question. Jay Smith says, I was of the comprehension that you cannot patent things in nature. So for lack of a better term, what is
I can't hear you.
Jay Smith says, I was under the comprehension that you cannot patent things in nature. So, for lack of a better term, what is their definition of land?
Real and unreal property.
Can you elaborate? Oh, so he I guess he'll be back. He just went off. So this is what I'm saying on the land back thing, on the land thing. First, you have to recognize that you're home. And a lot of us, we just don't get that. Somebody can say you're from a tree. Many of us will say, yeah, we're from a tree. So remember that brawl, that Montgomery brawl, those cats fighting down. So you take however things are presented to you, you can take it any way you want. But on how I'm looking at it was, that image of the $50 bill from Montgomery, Alabama in 1861 that I always show. That was those people. Here go John Blocker back. That's where those people, to me. John, what's going on?
Yeah, I look like I lost you for a minute.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had a couple of questions, while you were gone. You got the one I asked from Jay Smith, right?
About
What's the better term? What's the better definition for land?
real and unreal property.
What's the difference between the two?
One one is the land itself, and the other one is what they consider uh real property, like um assets and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. And Asana was said, so paying my taxes and holding a deed means nothing to these colonizers.
It means commerce for them. It's all about commerce. They
Bottom
know
line.
that they don't have the right to charge you taxes for property that's already yours, but because you don't know that it's your land, you pay for what you don't know.
Ooh.
I mean, it's just the way that they work. They have to have monies coming in. Your tax dollars is not taxes are not your taxes is a voluntary thing. It's not a mandatory thing that you pay taxes, but you do it because you keep signing papers. Stop signing shit. Stop signing shit. Stop agreeing to shit. I mean, that's how that's how it go. You
That's
sign
how
any document that you sign. If you go and sign a gas receipt, that's a contract. Anything you put your name on it becomes a contract, and it's
another
legal binding.
another question from Jay Smith. He was saying, I was told by someone of European descent that the only ones who could override a land patent was the original inhabitants of that land.
You are the original inhabitants of the land.
Right.
Stop listening to these white folks. That's what's wrong with you. Stop listening to these Caucasians. They don't. Okay, keep listening to them. You need to understand who you are and the authority you have on this land. You need to stop addressing yourself as African American and black. That has no authority here. The only authority here on this land is the term indigenous or aborigines. That's your power. All that other foolishness separates you from the land. Stop walking around talking about you black and you proud. That's silly. You're not black. For one thing, you're not black.
So, okay, so this is what I don't get. So just what you're saying right now, just that term, you're seeing with your own eyes you're not that, yet you continue to call yourself that. Or you could be looking at your hairline. Your hairline may be black, your shoes may be black, but you call yourself something that you're not, and is normally arrogant about it. What is that?
Because they told you to. It's not complicated. They told you to. And just what you did. You went right on and complied. Again, stop agreeing to shit. Stop signing shit. They have no jurisdiction over you. You give it to them. You run down there, they tell you need a real ID to travel. You do not need an ID to travel. You have a right to travel. It's not a privilege. You don't even need a driver's license to drive because you have a right to travel. We keep agreeing to these things and selling out our rights, giving up our rights because they tell you to stop obeying this foolishness.
Halito Kayuk.
Alito.
Hey.
So listen, y'all. I invited Lisa because we've been talking about Lisa's situation and John's remedy for that. They've hooked up and spoken, and I'd like them to share what they came up with. So let them have it, y'all.
I see you got some sleep, huh?
Oh, we are live. We live?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we was up all night. I mean, John is amazing. I mean, he's like a legal genius. He knows
Rain.
right, just like it's like you say, I, cat, dog.
What I'm a rain? I'm like
The
Rain Man.
language, like it's just like it's coming from him from birth. It's it's really tremendous. So
Well, I
I
do what
really,
I can.
yeah, man. That's I mean, because all of this is all witchcraft, legalese, spell making, and you really need to know how they work in order to defeat them. So I appreciate it, but he that's amazing. Did you get to talk about how you came to know all that you know, John?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well, how did you?
No. Well, um, it's kind of funny. I had a strange childhood. I didn't play like other kids. I always was. Uh, that wasn't a part of who I was. I didn't play like regular kids. Go get dirty and play in the sand. I didn't find that didn't interest me. So I spent most of my time reading books, experimenting with things all my life. And I knew there was something better. There was something better or something wrong with the system and what I was being told concerning who I am. I was always told I was I was an Indian, and that's what I believe because it came from my mother. And I stuck by that. This is your land. I'm a warrior. I will always be a warrior. Come from bloodline Cherokee and Choctaw. So I'm really like I love to rumble. So I've been rumbling all my life. I don't know how to do anything but fight, but I fight for the things that's right. I don't mess around. I don't have time for foolishness. You won't help, then act like you won't help. If you don't want help, don't waste my time. Because there's other people out there that actually want to be helped. So I did some studying. I do my own research. I educate myself on things because I have ability to comprehend. People go to school for years and they can read, but they can't comprehend what they read. So having the ability to read without comprehension is like not being able to read at all. If you can't comprehend things, might, might well just lay on down. So I have the ability to analyze situations. I've always been a thinking person. I've always been my own man. Sometimes it hurt. Believe me, it got me in a lot of trouble being that way, but hey, it is what it is. We need to take back our lives. And our lives right now are in the hands of someone else controlling our narrative. We need to take our narrative back and take control of our own lives. But we can't do that if we're comfortable with this fake persona that you have now.
What, tell me about that fake persona. Like, what do you, tell me how we need to like break free and what we kind of, what do you
Well,
think?
we need to get away from terms like African American. Stop using these terms. African American, I'm black, I'm a Christian, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, I'm a Seventh-day Adventist, I'm a Jehovah Witness. All these things separate you from your rightful place on the continent of America. It separates you from the landmass that's rightfully yours. Because when you're claiming to be something or someone else, then you can't claim what's rightfully yours. Stop claiming shit that's not you. They want you to do that. That's why they have gatekeepers. When I was coming up, there used to be maybe one church in a 5 mile radius. Now it's a church on every corner. Sometimes it's two churches on the corner. Why? Because they found a way to control you. Stop being led like sheep. Grow up. Make sense. Make it make sense to you. Anything that takes you away, tells you that you can't do anything without that, something wrong with that anyway. Because when you came in the world, your mother gave you life. She also taught you how to walk, talk, and you everything that you knew came from our first teacher, which was our mothers. Now you did that with her help. And once you was able to perform those tasks on your own, you did those things. Didn't nobody else have to go in the bathroom with you to make sure you did that? You went on your own. So when did you start needing somebody else's approval to do some things? I mean, that doesn't make sense. And for those that it does make sense to, you need to rethink that. You can do what you wanna, and your beliefs are your beliefs, but you need to check those beliefs. Because those beliefs was given to you just like everything else you have. You went to school, you was programmed to follow certain things, and you're still being programmed today. And our favorite word, I love this. You don't tell me what to do. You're being told what to do every day, and you don't say nothing. So why don't you say something to them when they tell you what to do? That's who you need to be making your voice heard to. Yet we fight amongst each other. We lost the respect for one another. We mistreat our women. We dog out our men. And then we talk about this all about love. There is no, where's the love there? And all this is because you're being told to do these things. We need to get back to the future. And that is back to a point when we were our own people, when we called the shots on our own land. And you do that by taking back your land 1 acre at a time, or 1,000 acres at a time, or 100 acres at a time, just as they did by taking it back with a pen. It's your land. Repossess your land.
So could you give us some examples of how we go about that?
Yeah, the lands that you're sitting on now, those mortgages that you're paying for on those land, you need to go in there and look at the land rights and the property, the rights concerning property in your state, because every state is different.
So where we go, where will we go find that?
You would go to the Hall of Records, and you go to the land office and look up the records, or you can just Google it online to find out what are the laws concerning the land rights in your state.
Right.
And then you take that information and you put it in a patent. You find it. Well, it's a little bit more than that. You need somebody to show you how to do the patents. But you can draft your own patent because it says so. You have the right to. We're the only people that have the right to make our own patents. If anybody think I'm lying, you need to ask somebody, because I've already done it for people.
Say that again for the people in the back.
For those people that you need to make, we can make our own patents. We're the only people that can write our own patents.
So we can write the patents for anywhere, or how does that work?
It's your land. If you inhabit a land, a parcel of land, you can issue a patent for that land. As long as you have, right now, I haven't worked out the kinks for the land that we don't have documentation for. But if you have documentation for a parcel of land, you need to find out what the laws are pertaining to that parcel. Like Georgia, anybody that owns property that's paying property taxes in Georgia that owns a house need to call me, and I'll send you a document for you to file in the state of Georgia, and you'll be tax free, and the land will be actually yours. All you have to pay is the filing fee.
You hear that, y'all?
I think people need to kind of wake up to that. That's amazing. And how do and it's amazing. And the other thing is that you have to understand that, what kind of person John is, because, these people out here, they're trying to do everything to take everything just to give you nothing, and, they got whole channels and everything. And it's just based on trying to get you to trust them so that they can get you to pay them for no information, and most likely no results, and this is like, this is the type of person that is, a true, honorable gentleman. And he's, that's when you call people, when people want to call themselves kings and gods, but they don't know how to act like kings and gods. But this man knows how to act like a king and a god. We don't know how to recognize it when we see it. That's a problem.
You have a few people asking, what is your contact information, John?
My email address is all lowercase. It's johnblocker59@yahoo.com. My cell number is 786-294-5790. I have one stipulation when you guys call me wanting to do some things. You need to be serious, and you need to tell me the truth. That's the only requirement I have. I need to have, in order to help you, I need to know the truth. I can't help you with half truths.
That's John Blocker 59 at Gmail.
At yahoo.com.
And let me add, don't be generous and don't be cheap and don't be an idiot. That's the other thing. Have some common sense that you, even if your mama didn't raise you right, try to act like you were raised right, please.
Yeah, well, we know that's a colonial attitude they adapted.
Another Facebook user asks, does the home have to be paid off?
No, do long as you have something, a documentation saying what you're paying taxes on the house, does not have to be paid off. The thing, this is what you need to understand about a patent. A patent is absolute ownership of land. And once you have a patent on that parcel of land, anybody holding any other document on that land, it becomes null and void.
There's a lot that they don't tell us that we don't know, and there's a lot that they're doing, and we assume that they're doing. We assume that these people around us, these pink toes, these these pink Europeans or whoever, or even all these immigrants of all different makeups or whoever, that they are doing everything on the up and up. These people are getting all the leg up cheats and shortcuts and everything, but
No,
here we are struggling to try to do everything we do.
you're struggling on your own land because you want to.
Oh,
Understand, this your land. You're paying them to live on your own land. Make that make sense.
Without throwing up.
Yeah, make that make sense. Why are you paying them to live on your own land when they're foreigners to your land? Make it make sense. Rationalize that.
and not only are we paying, but we paying over and over and over again. Shoot, you by the time if you finish really looking, you don't even want to look at it if you've been in a house for a while. You don't want to even look at what you've actually paid for the piece of crap that you actually have.
Compromise.
Exactly. Listen, my sister lived in her home for over 40 years. Until 2 years ago, she was still paying taxes until I made her stop. I issued a patent for her, told her what to do with it. And in her town, then but one person in the land office know exactly what it was. He said, I can't touch that. We can't do that here. I gotta send this to Atlanta. She said, send it. Cost her $30 to get her land.
Wow, wow.
A filing fee is all you have to pay.
What about with your situation, Lisa? How can that be remedied?
Well, I mean, we were talking all night. I mean, actually, not because we were talking all night, but because John came up, had the knowledge of what the key to what I need to be adding to my fight in 2 seconds. Negative 2 seconds. I mean, he just knew. And basically, the thing that you don't know, that people don't know, even if people know how to sue pro se, the thing that you need to know that John knows is John knows um how these people are responsible, how these people have to adhere to the law, because basically um pro se, they feel like you don't know anyway. Then you're you, because you're you, they don't really respect that you know anything. So that there's just a basic disrespect that goes on. And there and John, he knows those laws that can make them understand, honey, you might not understand me, but you understand that I'm what law I'm using and how that applies to you personally and your responsibility, as an official. That's the stuff that that's the stuff in the fight that you need to know. And that's the stuff he added that is never I never would have got to. And that is fire. Okay, that's absolute fire. But in addition to that, we talked about just my part of the country and all these things with the police and how to deal with them being
Yeah,
out of pocket. Yeah, John, go ahead.
I've got to check on your injunctions and restraining orders once we're done. Remember, we discussed that we were gonna put a choker, a gag on the police department.
That's right. That's right.
So your gag order for them coming, I got to check and see if it's done yet. I want to see if I can the language that I have for the injunction and the restraining orders are in line with uh, Virginia laws, and if so, then we'll shoot you the injunction and the restraining order, and you can serve them.
That's
And
right.
you'll be like you got smallpox. They'll back all the way up off you.
Right, right, right. Because the thing is, these people, that's amazing because because that's the thing. They feel like you don't have see, but this is the thing. They're in battle, there's another move you can make. If you don't know how to be what move that is, if you don't have that information, you can't make that move. And the enemy is counting on you not knowing the board, not knowing which move that move's possible to put them down. You know, so if somebody like John Blocker comes along and he knows what moves you need to make to go ahead and surprise attack somebody where they never thought that was coming, that's a whole different thing. And they want to make sure you don't know anything about this. The power of pro se litigate, you see, they don't really get it, because once the bell is rung, once you know what you know, that bell cannot be unrung. So it's also like once you know how to, once you do know how to proceed and pro se, they can't, what are you going to do with a lawyer? You know what I mean? Like, no, and they can't wear you out. They can't be in cahoots with your lawyer. They can't get your lawyer to take all your money, wear you down financially, and get you nowhere, which is what they'll do. They're all friends. You sitting up there paying the lawyer, he's taking the money you pay him to take them to lunch. The judge, the other lawyers, they hanging, they having drinks. And you sitting up there like, oh, well, he says it's looking good.
It sure is for him.
Then he says, well, then he comes back with you with the compromise to get you nowhere and makes you feel dirty and broke. And you're like, well, and then you paid everything, you still owe them, you still owing them. You paid everything and you got nowhere. Oh, well, this is, well, you tried. It's the best we could have hoped for, we, it was a good effort or whatever. We did the best, da 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 da, your ancestors would be proud of you. I don't know what they would say to you, but anyway, they're gonna give you some speech and then disappear into the sunset, and everybody's gonna be happy, high fiving each other because they handled that. You can't, she can't come back for no time because she already exhausted everything she could with dealing with your butt, and they're gonna give you everything she got. See, that's the thing. But what they don't understand is, like I said, once you got a knowledge of how to handle yourself and how to speak the language and how to file correctly, then they can't take that away from you, nor they can take it away from you sharing it so that others around you know what to do.
No. And one thing for you guys out there, I know there's a bunch of you guys out there that figure that you have the money to hire a lawyer. Stop being brazen and proud. When you hire a lawyer, he calls you a client. The definition of a client means that you're incapable of speaking for yourself. Stop agreeing to that. Start learning how to talk for yourself. Me, I've been opening my mouth for a long time. So I'm comfortable in a courtroom. But for those of you that's not comfortable in a courtroom, get comfortable. Learn the law. Stop going to basketball games. Stop watching football all day. Pick up a book. Get your Black's Law Dictionary, fourth edition if you can. Study some law. Arm yourself. Because if you don't arm yourself, you can't fight them. Guns are fine, but man, knowledge is absolute power. Arm yourself with knowledge and then take it to them.
We have a Facebook user that is asking, what good are trademarks and copyrights?
Trademarks and copyrights. They're like registrations. One is like a logo that you use. A trademark is a logo. Like Pepsi, Coca-Cola, they have logos as a trademark. That trademark is their logo. Pepsi sign, the Coca-Cola sign, these are trademarks. This is their brand. It's a form of brand that they use, a form of identification. Why you open up a business?
This was a question from a Facebook user.
Is he opening up a business?
Well, I guess he'll answer when he hear your question. And April Don says, go sit at court proceedings from time to time. That's a good idea.
Exactly. Go sit in the courtroom and see how they railroad you.
Yeah. He said, he or she said yes. They are opening a business.
What type of business are you opening?
And while we get the answer for that,
We have to drag information out of people because we don't know how to just tell you what's going on.
Oh yeah. Oh, most definitely.
There's a question: does art need to be copyrighted? And yeah, you better get that copy. Go ahead, John.
Does art need to be copyrighted?
Yes, that's the question.
It needs to be patented. You need to patent your work.
All your work.
Yeah, you need to patent all your work because that patent gives you absolute ownership of the painting.
Now, when we do these things, are we doing it individually? Are we doing it as a group of people or family? Or what's the best way to go about this?
It actually depends on what you're doing. If you're gonna do a business, most people feel they need a LLC. Well, LLCs only needed when there's a certain amount of risk in the business that you have. But there are businesses that you can start that doesn't require an LLC. LLCs is just for risk factors. But they tell you got to have it in all businesses. Again, you're dealing with people these are professional liars. It's woven in their DNA. They don't know how to tell the truth.
You a liar and the truth ain't in you.
Exactly. They, for them to tell the truth, they turn pink if they tell the truth. Because that's the hardest thing for them to do. But they can look you straight in the eye and tell you a lie in a minute.
In a
And be
minute.
smiling all at the same time and got a knife in their hand ready to stick in your back. So you turn around. but we need, but seriously, everybody that's listening, guys, learn something about the law, not just criminal, but all facets of the law. Because you need to know these things. If you're going into business, you need to have some business. You don't need to go to school to learn something about business. Teach yourself. You have a mind, use it. I mean, stop thinking that you got to pay somebody to gain something that you can get on your own. I mean, my sister turned 84 today. She went to the 4th grade. And right to this day, my sister fixes cars, she lays carpet, she hangs cabinets, she runs electricity, she fixes cars, she paint cars, she she lays foundations, and she retired from P&G. And she was the only woman on the line that repaired the machines. People with PhDs and master degrees in mechanical engineering had to go to her to find out how to fix the machine that they got schooled for.
Wow, that's what I'm talking about.
It take them 45 minutes to do what she do in 5 minutes.
Isn't that wonderful? And that's so much an indigenous woman. That's so much an indigenous woman. That's the way my daddy treated all of us kids, all of us girls. He was like, "You can do anything." I'd be like, "Daddy, I got this thing going on. I got something I need to sink. I need to weld this." He said, "You could do it."
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. She
You
welds too.
yeah,
I
you
forgot. She welds too. Oh, and
mhm.
she she drive tractor trailer too.
See
So
that
my sister's been a role model for me for a lot of years because I'm always amazed at all the stuff she does. And right now she's baking lady fingers for her granddaughters.
making lady fingers.
But we need to understand that she didn't go to none of these fancy schools or anything. She had common sense. Common sense. And anything she put her hands on, she could fix it. But you got people going to paying to go to college to learn a trade, get a specialty, just to come out and go to work for somebody else. You might as well work for yourself. How dumb are you? You're gonna go build up all this debt just to go and work for somebody else when you can't pay off that debt like that. You're gonna specialize and you're gonna go to college, open up your business in the field that you're gonna be working in, that you're gonna make a career of. You got 4 years to develop that business. You have 2 free years where the tax people don't expect you to show a profit. So you got 3 years to float by. When you graduate, slide on it, get out of there, get your diploma, and go slide into your own business. And stop sliding and making somebody else rich and still in debt. That's stupid. Make that make sense.
Well, we're gonna get some callers. Some callers, if you have call in and ask some questions. There's the number right there. Please call in, speak to John. You see, he's giving you information. Many of you are like, damn, I didn't think of it like that. Well, now you're thinking of it, and this man is responsible for you thinking about it. So if you have some questions for him, please call up and we'll get you to talking to him.
And just to make it crystal clear for all the listeners out there, this is something I do because I want to do it. I don't charge people for doing this. If people want to do something, that's up to them. I don't ask you to do anything. All I ask you to do is be truthful with me so I can best help you.
But he does accept donations, and if you're anything, you will definitely do so. And don't be a dirtbag. If he does accept donations via Walmart, pay. So don't be an idiot, and don't shame me. Don't shame the indigenous one. Don't shame Carrie. Don't shame me. Do the right thing, as they say.
Yeah, I know there's people out there charging you for this information, but I'm not charging you. You want help, you call me. If I can help you, I'll do everything in my power to help you resolve your issues.
You
But
see, no, I was just going to say, you see, you got brothers and sisters around taking their life, helping the masses out. And these are the people who normally ignored. The people who are bullshitting you and lying to you, they're normally the people who gets all the love, all the money, everything. And brothers out here who just, telling you, do it yourself. Open your mouth. These brothers telling you, these sisters trying to help you out.
He's saying all you got to do is ask. But see, you got all these people, some of these people is straight immigrants, straight foreigners, and they are demanding, that you give them whatever. And then their information is not really applicable to you and your personal situation, especially being an indigenous person. They don't know how to really apply it to you. And yet they're going to sit up there and you're going to give your money to these people for what? So they can just make you, do what they would do. And then they really don't have the solutions that you really need. And here this brother has the, the willingness to go ahead and donate himself and give up himself like it's his calling, like he's, this is like, you want to talk about what is real worthy. We want to run and run to these religions. And here you got a man who is actually, that's like a worship to him. If he's like donating himself, that is like, that is like a calling for him. And so, we got to appreciate it for what it is and show appreciation, to people like this, though he's not asking for it. We need to show our appreciation because that's the way we honor ourselves and honor our ancestors, by actually recognizing the daggone wonderful thing that this is, the gift that he is to our community and to each one of us.
And let the youth know about, things like this. Let the cats who 20, 25, 30 know about stuff like this. Because one of the things that we don't do a lot is pass information down so these kids can grow up with something in their head.
Rather than gang banging.
Gang banging. What's up, good?
And sagging. Pull your pants up. Be men. Pull your pants up. Stop advertising. Like the man said, that ain't selling. Stop advertising.
Right.
Stop advertising. Pull your pants up. Be men. Stop letting the TV dictate who you become.
That's right. Well, John, we coming up. We passed the hour. So, is there any last thing you want to share with the audience before you get out of here?
Yeah. If you happen to start getting headaches from anything that you heard today, that means that's the first sign that you're starting to think.
Wow.
That means your mind is actually doing something for the very first time. And believe me, you'll get a headache. because you're doing something that you've never done before. Your imagination is being challenged now. So now your mind is starting to try to decipher this information. So it's going to seem like you have a migraine. That's your mind starting to work for itself for the very first time. The more you use it, the less it hurts. So
Man,
keep thinking.
is that also, John, them feeling compelled? Like, okay, before you rested, making excuses like, well, I would do this, but oh, you had the excuse. Well, I don't know, or I don't think I have. I don't know. When you give this information and remove the excuses, doesn't that compel people in a way that would give them a headache as well?
Yeah, because they've already defeated themselves by saying that they can't do something. Take that out of your vocabulary. There's no such thing as can't. This your land. You can do anything you want on your land because nature say you can. You want to make it rain, speak it and make it rain. This your land. Stop running around here agreeing that you're something that you're not. That's the first step. Stop saying you black. Stop building platforms to that idiotic situation. You're not black and you're not invisible. You are an aborigines and you matter. Stop using the term you're indigenous or you're an aborigines or you're an American Indian and see don't you get results. You're not getting any results because you calling yourself an African American.
What was your question, Facebook user?
Are you the one with the antique, artwork and photographs? Is that?
Me?
Chat. Yeah,
I think that person responded and said he deals with antique photographs and something like that, but I guess you might admit, yeah. Okay, he said yes. So yeah, he did actually answer it because another listener had mentioned, you might not have seen it because I don't think the chats are shared to everyone, but I
Yeah.
think another listener from another platform asked a question about her artwork, and he did talk about the fact that it needs to be patented,
You need to
right?
get your patent on it.
Right. And I
Patent
don't
your
know.
work because that gives you absolute ownership.
So, and like that would apply to your antique artworks and things like that. Does that answer your question? And also, I think we need to also share our information. Like even like this is really funny because y'all are here on the platform. Carrie gives out the number. You could talk. You could come out and you could actually, promote your business. Put down your website. Put a tag or something, a number where you could be located. But you're not promoting yourself. Use yourself. Ain't nothing here. We want you to be big. We want you to be great. Put your stuff out here. Come on, use the number. Talk about your stuff. Shoot your shot. You know what I mean? Make yourself great. The other thing is, like one of the I know it maybe also I don't know who said it, but basically mentioned is sharing it with other people. That's the other thing we as Negro Indians don't do. We don't share stuff. I was a little bit hurt when I heard about the people that John had helped, because you know what I mean. People know what I'm doing, and these people have been in my company. We've been around each other, dealt with each other, and done things together. But to not share the information is foul. Okay, that's foul. We can't be like that. Just stop that stuff. And this is also your indigenous identity. We don't share that. We be like, we don't talk about it to people widely. You know that you are not an African American, but yet you don't talk to everybody about it. So they can be having understanding. They may be ready for it, they may not be ready for it, but you're not sharing the information widely. Stop being selfish with your information. Share your information. Don't be greedy. Okay, Facebook user, it's withershomefoundations.org. Okay, withershomefoundations.org. That's what I'm talking about. Let's share our information, because see, this will be sitting on here for as long as the video is around, and people need to know what you're doing and need to know about your business. Share your information. You know what I'm saying? Put it out there.
If you're a small business individual, there's private organizations out there that have grants open for monies that you don't have to pay back. But you can't find them on Google, so stop looking there. Everything on Google charge you. So if you want to find some of these organizations, go to a website called findhelp.org or 211.org. And just say, when you go there, just say you need help. On findhelp.org, you just put in your zip code, and it'll bring up the organizations that offer help in your area. And across the icons, they'll have the different things you can apply for, like utilities, housing, medical, whatever you have need of. Just click on that, and they'll give you a list of foundations that issue grants to help you out with those things. You just have to find the one that's going to help you, and all you do is you click on where it says more, and that icon gives you the information as to who they help and how they help. But there's help out there, and these funds does not have to be repaid.
So you see, there are many people who are doing things, but as like Lisa was saying earlier, we don't exchange information. We get stuff and we try to claim it as ours. Help everybody. People are helping you. People are willing to help you. You got to do the same thing.
Yeah, it's like reach one, teach one.
Yeah.
If we don't start doing this, we're going to find ourselves very extinct in a short period of time.
And you see, they already trying to push that on us.
Well, it's already on us. We just haven't felt the effects yet. We're already being annihilated daily because we're steady participating in the foolishness.
And you mentioned, we were talking last night also about people that are doing good things in the community, especially, he mentioned that Chief Cali, and Chief Cali has this really a fire series of videos that I guess he puts out a new one every Sunday.
Our story.
Our story. Yes.
Our story is the actual name of the YouTube channel, and he actually puts out new videos. I think every Sunday. And they are extremely well done, really well done. I think
they are.
We need to understand also that he does do things to engage the youth in the community and get and educate them. That's what we were actually mentioning, also last night. And I'm aware that that's what he does. And that is important because these children need to know. And so even if you aren't willing to do the teaching or go out there and do whatever, or maybe don't feel comfortable or don't really have access to children like that, or, have kids to yourself, you can help people that are doing such things as that. You can support their efforts. You can let people that in your family and community what the activities that he has going on that they might participate in. See, we can actually do things rather than be spectators. And no matter what, there's something that you might be able to do. And I really urge you all to do those things. You know what I'm saying? Do those things that you can and should do while while you're here. Also, people talk about genealogy and stuff like that. There are people that do genealogy. There are a lot of people that do genealogy, and certain people may be trying to scam you on genealogy. Certain people do work honestly on your genealogy. I will say Johnny Aborigine, he does do genealogy. A lot of different people do genealogy, but what some people fail to understand is that depending on your case, it can take a minute. Now, I just talked to somebody the other night. He was told by the person that it would take over a year. She gave him like a year deadline or so that she would have his tree for him, and still didn't have it. Okay, well that's whatever, right? I mean, that's a realistic deadline for sure, a whole year. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of people have expectations of months or whatever, and that's not realistic. I mean,
No, it's not.
for people
Cause
that have other, yeah, they have other careers. You know what I mean? Like Johnny, different people. Tasha, people have jobs. They're doing stuff. This is a side job for them. And then if they have more than one person's trees they're working on, and you got a complicated situation in your family, that is going to take time. Okay, understand that. And I don't think people that don't dabble or do it, they don't understand it. Also understand, I don't really suggest that you turf all that to anybody anyway, because your ancestors want you to find them. They want you to be like, hey John, which John are you? Hey, okay, John Henry. Okay, no, John H. Okay, no, you know, oh, you went by J this time? Okay. Oh, all right. Oh, where you at now? Okay. Oh, you married again? You know, they want you to utter their name and do a little bit digging for them. So don't turf your search completely to someone else. I mean, you might need them to give you over a hard spot or whatever, but I suggest that you take some of that work in for yourself, because it's a journey that you need to experience, because it's a connection that you make with your own, and that's kind of important. Now, I understand everybody ain't going to be able to do it, but I suggest part of that stuff you do try to do. Go ahead. I'm sorry, John. John?
yeah, that is true. You need to do your own research because once you know something, you can't unlearn something. Because it's paramount that you know and be able to speak on the things that you've learned. Because if you can't speak on these things, how are you going to do anything? I mean, if you don't put in the work, you got to take somebody else's word for stuff. And that's what we've
Boo.
been doing all this time. We've been taking everybody else's word that this is what you are. That's not who you are. Stop doing that. Again, stop accepting things, stop agreeing to shit, stop signing shit. Stop giving them authority over you because they don't have it. You have to give it to them. That's why they tell you sign here. Remember, anything you put your signature on becomes a contract and it's binding by law. So stop signing shit. Stop agreeing to shit. Question everything. Don't just sit up there and don't say anything. Sign here. Why? What is this? Ask questions. That's your right. Stop giving up your rights to ask questions. I mean, the only stupid question is the one that you don't ask. And if you're going to think every question you have is stupid, you're not going to get any answers. And that's been our biggest issue. We think, oh, that sounds stupid. Don't nobody care. Here's a little, I'll let you in on a secret. Nobody cares. You're not here to live up to anybody's expectations but your own. When you start understanding that, you're not here to satisfy me. I'm not here to satisfy you. I'm not here to live up to your expectations. I'm here to live up to my own expectations, just as you should be. Stop worrying about what your neighbors say or what Tom, Dick, and Harry said about you. If they talking about you, you must be doing something right.
Something they would never do.
Yeah. If you wasn't doing something right, they wouldn't be talking about you. Because they don't talk about people doing something wrong. Understand. Understand who you are and the power that you have as being indigenous Americans. Put pride in that. If you don't put pride anywhere, put pride in who you are, not what they say you are, but who you actually are. And when you meet somebody and they ask you, hey, who are you? I'm an American Indian, or I'm indigenous. But to be able to explain that, you need to do your homework, because my ancestry predates Columbus here in America. My mother was Cherokee, according to them, a real people, a Nija. My father was Choctaw, and I'm very proud of it. And I sit back and educate people on exactly how and who I am. And they're actually surprised because they've been lied to too. Don't think we the only ones been lied to. Everybody has been lied to. To make the lie work, everybody has to be lied to.
Everybody.
Everybody. They don't leave nobody out. They even lie on their own, they even lie to their own people. So don't feel like the Lone Ranger, like you the only one was lied to. They lie to their own people in order to make the lie work. Why you think you got Clammers dressed up in white in them Christian robes? By the way, those are church robes.
And then when they ask you questions, you ask them the same questions.
Yeah.
And you will find out, especially a lot of these foreigners, they not going to tell you because they don't know.
Because they don't know. They just like you, they lost too. But
So
when you start understanding who you are and you start being able to explain who you are, then people listen. They start to listen.
have a whole different respect for you.
Yeah, their whole attitude change about you. The minute you acknowledge that you're an American Indian, their whole expression changes at that moment.
Expeditiously.
And we need to go. I live in a state that's known for its racism. This is a treasure trove of lawsuits for me. I can get here and get rich in this state with all the stupid things that they do. But you got to understand. Uh, as a matter of fact, I got a couple of companies against the wall now with that foolishness. But anytime we as indigenous aborigines have a complaint against the system, our complaints are handled in the district courts, not the circuit courts, but all our complaints are handled in the district courts, and under the jurisdiction that they have, you use 18 USC subsection 3231. That gives them jurisdiction over all courts.
Well, cool. John, thank you, man.
13, what was that, John? 13 what?
You already have it.
I know, but I didn't. I'm typing it in for the chat.
It's 18 USC subsection 3231. Jurisdiction over all courts. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
And for God's sake, people, know your rights. Stop complying. Stop giving people your driver's license when they pull you over. Stop pulling over side the road. Pull into a parking lot. Keep your windows and doors locked. Stop doing stupid things. Stop getting out of the car. Go online and download a traffic stop script by a police officer named Eddie Craig. It's a 7-page document that tells you how to deal with traffic stops. Keep it in your cars, keep it in your wallet, keep it wherever you want to keep it. It not only applies to the cars, it applies to you walking, talking, driving, crawling, whatever you want to do. The procedure is the same.
You said Eddie Craig?
Yeah, it's Eddie Craig's traffic stop script.
Mm-hmm.
Follow these directions to the letter in the script, and you will be fine. They will hold you there for a minute, but they will be mad as hell when they leave.
All right. Thank you
Cause
so much.
remember, you have the right to travel. Anytime they stop you and pull you over, that is an illegal move because it interferes with your right to travel. Know your rights. You can also down. You can also find your right to travel on the DOJ website, or just Google right to travel, and they'll pull it up and shoot you out. Should be 3 or 4 pages of it with case law that supports your right to travel. Understand, arm yourself with the things that they use against you. These are the things that defends you and protects you when you're on the streets, and you'll have a better chance of going home that night.
Cool, John, man. I really, and I'm sure the people in the chat appreciate you being here today and sharing this information, man. Seems
Well,
like it woken up a lot of people.
well, my man, I'm glad. I know you had invited me once before, and I missed the opportunity, and I was glad that we had this chance to get hook up, um, and get to enlighten some people, because I'm here to enlighten and empower our people to stand on their own 2 feet, no matter what. Get off your knees and stand up. There's nothing down there on your knees except ashy knees and sore ankles. Get off your knees and stand on your feet.
Get your ass up.
Get
Thank
the
you,
fuck,
John.
get the fuck
Thank
up.
you so much.
Get up. Ain't nothing down there for you
Ain't nothing down there
unless
for you.
you're doing something in the missionary position, but ain't nothing else for you. Heavy stop. That wasn't nice, but
So
other
much.
than that, you don't need to be on your knees doing nothing.
Exactly.
Ain't no help down there.
Well, sir, thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for, we know there's people out there who, in the same positions. A lot of us are. And some people who figured out and seen this thing, like you said, you've been reading since you were a kid. And I just really appreciate that you can just come and givingly share this information with the audience. And Lisa, you do it all the time. So I appreciate you too.
Appreciate you. Thank you for bringing John and letting us talk and be introduced, and all you do to carry for our community. And for me, I really appreciate you personally. So, this is it. We need to share the love and appreciate one another, and understand what great men are. When we see, men like Kerry and men like John Blocker, we can understand recognize what is good and recognize what is right, and be able to, discernment is a powerful tool. You got to be able to discern. A lot of people will try to daggone hoodwink you and swindle you and, cajole you and finesse you. But you got to have the discernment to recognize what is right and what is good. This is it. So, get with it and be like they are.
Cool.
I mean, if you're willing to learn, I'm willing to teach you. But if you're not serious about that, don't dial my number.
There you go, guys. No bullshit. So John, hey, and since you said you were supposed to be on here a little while ago, we're gonna ask you, can we pick you up on that and bring you back again soon?
Man, anytime you get ready, you got my number. Dial them digits.
I will do that, sir. Thank
Hit a
you again.
brother up. I got nothing, Carrie. I got nothing but love for you, my man. You've always been straight. It's you and a few other people that brought me into the group. African Americans ain't Africans, and I'm very appreciative for that. I appreciate you for that, uh, because I was searching for some things, and you and some members that are no longer with you in the group were very instrumental in me taking on this task and taking it as far as I've been taking it. And I
No,
appreciate and thank you for that.
no, we appreciate you for taking it where you've taken it. Because this is the kind of stuff we need, man. Like I say, man, we can't do stuff by ourselves. We all need to do that. Like you said, we all watch them football games. We all watch them stories. We all pay attention to that other dumb shit and stuff
Yeah.
that you're bringing, information that you're bringing, Lisa's bringing, and a whole bunch of other people are bringing, are starting to make this puzzle become more clear. So I appreciate it the max.
Well, it's always my pleasure, man. Like I say, anytime you get ready, just hit me up. Um, and I'm usually available anytime when I'm not when I'm not otherwise engaged in stuff. When I'm not in the battle room.
Well, you will be hearing from me sooner than you think, sir.
Well, my number won't change.
Cool.
That's
My
right,
phone's
y'all.
never off.
Thank you so much. Could you hit the like button? Thank you, Denmark. All Demaric. Sorry, and also understand YouTube may disappear. It may go. Facebook may block things. It may delete this daggone video. But African Americans a African.com will be there. That is Kerry Davis's web page where his videos are there, logged there for you to watch anytime and send people over to watch his videos. That's where you can find his videos all the time. He
And
goes
learn,
live,
people. These things are not they don't have price tags hanging on them.
right.
We're doing these things because we want to inform our people. I do it because I care. So don't get it twisted. I will fight if I have to. So don't worry about it. I will fight if I have to.
Right. Right.
Right.
So
Many
that's
of us,
But
what
many of us are just tired of seeing us getting our ass whooped on all these platforms in all
yeah,
aspects of life.
yes.
We tired of watching that shit. We watched our mothers and grandfathers doing it. We damn so don't want to see our children do it.
no.
Is get
And
involved and start doing some genealogy and finding out who you are and stop being all these pseudo names that other people give you.
yeah, stop answering the shit. Stop signing shit. Stop agreeing to something that you're not.
You can get
Start asking questions.
right. You can go to AfricanAmericans.com also for help with your genealogy, guidance, and getting yourself started, help in getting unstuck if you're stuck, which is an appropriate way to do it. You can go to AfricanAmericans.com and you also see that there's a cash app there. Use that and also understand that John Blocker uses Walmart and you can go ahead and send him a gift. So that's what we need to do. Make sure that you understand that we need to sew into each other. Note the businesses that are out here. Note the other people that are doing great things, and let's support each other, build our community. Don't let our dollars walk away from our community anymore. Let's start spending and sewing into each other, y'all.
And stop making these Asians and Chinese and everybody else come over here and get rich off your back.
Wow. So look, so listen.
We charge too much. They too high. They just as high.
Hi.
Yeah, but you'll go pay them more money than you would your own kind. Stop, stop patronizing your own. Stop worrying about what it costs. You don't worry about it when you go and pay $150 for a pair of Jordan.
That's right. That's a fact.
And they don't support you. You support
Michael
him.
Jordan, Michael Jordan support the Klan. Since y'all want to know, he a card carrying Klan fan.
And he supports the pipe way to prison as well. So
He got 20% in the prison system.
Thank you
for all you Jordan lovers, idolizers. Don't believe me? Look it up. I want you to never believe me. Look it up. So you're feeling and keep your feelings out of it. Because if you got your feelings all in it, you're gonna get hurt. So take your feelings out of it and look it up.
Cool.
Start idolizing. Start making your parents your role models instead of these TV clowns you idolize. Those are your role models because they're the ones ensuring that you have food, shelter, and clothes on your backs. And you thank them by what? I want a pair of Jordan. Well, you can get some from Walmart. I want Jordan. Well, get a job. It's just that simple. You want something, it's not what you need. Your wants are not your needs. Don't get it twisted. You don't need a pair of Jordan. You need some shoes on your feet. Walmart shoes wear just as good as Jordans do. Put them on and try it out.
That's a fact.
And they cheaper. Stop trying to break your parents with that foolishness. Yeah, I said it. And it's not even open for debate. I said it. You don't like it, deal with it.
That's right.
You don't want your kids to live like your parents did, then you the fool. Because your parents' sacrifices made you who you are today, and you slap that in their face by telling me, I don't want my kids growing up like that. Look how you turned out. But we keep disking our parents for these Hollywood make-believers. That's not even their real names. You don't even know who their names are. They got stage names. And you run them up there. Oh, I want to see this man. I want to go see this. You need to get your heads on straight, people.
John is cooking now. He cooking.
Damn heads on straight with that bullshit. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I told you this might get ugly.
Dude, I said no censor.
I told you this might get ugly. So for all y'all got thin skins, deal with it. You need to appreciate your parents that you do have. You can't choose your parents. You just have to deal with the ones that you got. Be content with the parents that you got because they're doing the best they can with what they have. You need to appreciate that and stop being little spoiled brats, because that's what you are. You think you don't want no limitations on stuff. Everything you want is I want, I want, I want. Well, you can't always have the shit you want. Because your wants can never be satisfied. That's the first thing you need to understand. But your needs can always be fulfilled. Fulfill your needs. Stop running around here wanting so much. Stop wanting shit. Why we messed up now? Because you're too busy wanting shit. Stop wanting shit.
They are programming you to want shit. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
You being controlled to want shit. You don't even know why you want it. It don't make no sense.
They use the word new. New is a trigger word. New like kryptonite. When we hear the word new, we get all excited.
I don't know
And we
what
don't even know why.
got April. I have some work Walmart shoes that, man, them things are the best shoes. They're my go-tos for whatever. I buy, shoes that are hundreds of dollars, and them shoes ain't worth crap. But my daggone Walmart shoes, man, they the go-to. And like during COVID, one of the nurses, she had these expensive shoes. She was crying. She couldn't make it through the shift. She was in pain. She was crippled, literally, by her expensive shoes. I was like,
Yeah.
girl, go get you some Walmart shoes. She went and got some Walmart shoes. She came into work literally dancing. She danced the whole shift. She was so happy. Her feet felt
That's
so
right. The price of something don't make the thing be good. That don't determine if something is good or not. Look at the cars you buy. They break down, don't they? So prices don't make things be what they are. You make choices, and your choices need to be sound choices. Stop wanting shit. Stop signing shit. Stop agreeing to shit. And for God's sake, stop damn voting. You're on your own land. What the hell are you voting for? Make that make sense. I have a right to vote. Fool. For what? All you're doing is choosing the overseer. You letting them know that you can't manage anything on your own. That's the message you want to send? That you're incapable of handling yourself? Wake the fuck up. This your land. You don't need to vote. It's my right. I'm gonna vote. I don't care what you say. You keep voting. And shit still ain't gonna change you, but you keep voting. Man said it best. You keep doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different outcome. It's called insanity. So keep doing that insane shit. That's how they know they got you. Cause you keep doing the same dumb shit over and over again, hoping for a different outcome. And the outcome is still the same. Somebody's got his foot on your neck again. You comfortable with somebody's foot on your neck? I'm being honest with you. I'm not comfortable with somebody's foot on my neck.
That's a fact.
But you do what pleases you. You do you. If you comfortable with somebody's foot on, with your head on the ground and somebody got their foot on it, then you keep laying down. You're already wearing dresses, so you might as well go lay down. You might as well go lay down.
We give our consent to these things, and
Exactly.
all they can do is go ahead and follow through. We're the ones saying, "Oh yeah, go." We ain't saying nothing. That's giving our consent.
Yeah. And let me give you a scenario. That mask you put on, that's called a gag order. That's giving up your right to free speech. In case you didn't know what that symbolizes, but you keep wearing them. They know what it means. You're the only fool that don't know. It means you giving up your right to free speech. Cause what? Don't nobody hear you when you're speaking in that thing. Stop agreeing to shit. Stop doing shit for no reason. There's no earthly reason for you to wear a mask.
If that's not one of the most embarrassing
Dump in a box of rocks on Sunday.
man.
Dumb nigga. They did that. They told you that this was a military exercise, and you still went for the okie doke. You didn't hear nothing.
And this is what I don't get. Have you heard this song called Bodies?
Biden?
Bodies.
Uh-uh.
Man, you and everybody in the chat, go check out this song called Bodies,
Okay.
talking about everybody who's getting this jab falling out. And people are upset at the song, saying is you're making fun of the people who got jabbed.
No. You
Tyler James, Demaric. Tyler James.
Tyler
Bodies.
James.
Bodies. Cold hookup. Nice cut. Now everybody's upset. You get making fun of the people who got, wasn't the people who got jabbed making fun of the people who didn't get jabbed? Remember?
Yeah, but look at here's a 28-year-old man drops dead of a heart attack. What are the chances of that?
None.
He took the jab.
Right.
So I mean, you can do what you want. That's your body. But you need to have some kind of ability to discern for yourself.
Right.
This thing contains a spike protein that's kryptonite to us, but you keep taking it. And then they tell you need a booster shot. And then they tell you that it doesn't cure anything. So why are you giving it to me? Why do I need to take it if it's not going to cure anything? Because we said take it. And just like always, we jump in line and fall on the grenade. We jump right on the damn grenade. It's my time. Ooh, 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 it's my time.
Right.
Hey, let me go, please. Man, stop seeking validation from these people that don't love you.
Despise you.
Man, I mean, and the worst form of racism for all you interracial couples, divorce rate between interracial couples are higher than any other divorce rate on the continent. Interracial relationship is the highest form of racism. For you all that don't understand what racism is, marrying them is the highest form of racism. But you keep doing that. You don't tell me what to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just explaining what it is that you are doing. I would never tell you not to do something. You're grown. You're supposed to be a grown up.
That's right.
So I'm just telling you what happens when you do that. And for you guys that marry the Caucasian woman, you're committing genocide.
They know it.
Because the female carries the bloodline. All the children that's born from that particular woman is a Caucasian, not no Negro, not no mulatto, but a Caucasian.
Say that again for the Barack Obama lovers.
For all you Barack Obama lovers, for all who Jim, the mother carries the bloodline. Whatever the mother is, the child also is. Can no man have no baby, so he can't carry the bloodline. For you ones that are impaired, you can't carry no bloodline, man, because you can't have no baby.
Well, yo, man, look, you got some cats that believe a man gave birth to Eve. So come on.
You heard the saying, nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
You gotta have something.
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Can't no two men make anything. That's been proven right here and before you in today's society. You got two men living together. Why don't they have a baby? They got to adopt something. Same with two women. They have to adopt something.
That's
They
right.
have to adopt something. So tell me how it's possible for you to do that and call yourself you having a baby. I'm having a baby.
It don't work.
No. For one thing, a woman body parts are makeup is biology is different from a man all together. You understand? All together.
All together. Well, John, I see you blowing up now, man.
Because no man's pelvis can slip to open up a birth canal. For all you people out there that don't understand the birth of a nation or how a child is born, in order for a woman to give birth, her pelvis has to slip and open up a birth canal so a child can come out. For all you for all you educated people that think that the man has the power to bear a child. I don't care what you cut off and tuck. He still can't make it. That's called a eunuch. Not a woman, it's called a eunuch. So you keep thinking that's a female. That's a eunuch. So if you don't know the definition of a eunuch, look it up. Stop running around here thinking there's no alternate sexes, people. And I don't mean any disrespect to anybody that's been raised by a pedophile, because it takes a pedophile to create that mindset that children have, thinking that they're one thing when they're another. So you need to watch your friends around your children, your best buds, because somewhere in there there's a pedophile lurking. And it's not cute for a boy to have on high heels. Stop encouraging your kids to be something that they're not. Oh, he's so cute. Stop that foolishness. Stop agreeing to shit. Stop signing shit. Stop letting these people tell you how to run your house. You need to take charge of your houses and deal with your children. I don't want to be bothered. That's not my problem. You understand? You need to deal with your kids. That you made them, deal with them. Stop pawning them off on everybody else. Then you wonder why they hate you. They hate you because you don't spend no time with them. You ain't got time. Oh, I'm going to the club tonight. It's Friday night. Well, who home with the kids? Oh, they got the TV. Okay, keep letting TV and Xbox raise your children. See what happens to them. They pick up all kinds of negative mannerisms because you too busy doing you and no time to do your kids. Spend time with your children because that's all they want from you. They want some attention from you. Show them that you got some love for them. Don't make them feel like they some kind of mistake. Grow the fuck up. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to go all over there. Did I lose y'all?
No, sir. You
Huh?
no, sir. You see, I've been just listening.
No, okay. I thought I'd run y'all. I didn't
Hey,
mean to go there, man. It had to come out.
it's cool.
These things need to be said because our people are blinded by the light.
It's cool. What light? Why? I don't think they're getting it, man. Whatever these cat people say, we just seem to just swallow it.
Because that's what we've been told to do. We've been programmed by the good old boys.
Yeah.
I say jump, you say hi hi.
The audience, I just want you to, this is what I want you to know. This is why I had this brother on, because this is one of the cats that thinks not outside of the box. He has something to say, and he has formulated, he has comprehended the words and the language. And so it's always good to hear from folks like this, not somebody who repeats what they hear another person tells them. That's normally the African American. That's normally the Black. This is why we ask you, what do you say? You see the world. This man sees the world like everybody else. He's formulated it, what he's picked up, the information that he's got, so he can talk to you in a way that he knows that's necessary. That's all. So that's why we ask, what do you say? And these are the kind of guests we try to have. Brother, what you say? This is what you got to say. And if all you have to do is repeat what another monkey tells you, you got to live with that by yourself. So, John, I appreciate you, man.
Hey man, it's been my pleasure and I've enjoyed this immensely. You guys have been as always, I got much love and respect for you all. And you need to understand that I speak only the truth about things as I have experienced it, and I'm speaking from my personal experience and the things and the knowledge that I've gained from these experiences.
Well, cool, brother.
I don't make up stuff and I do not lie because I'm a grown man. I don't need to lie.
That's right.
So if you ask me something and you don't want the answer, you don't want the truth, then don't dial my number, please. Don't waste my time because I don't have time to play games. This is not a game for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Blocker. Thanks, brother.
Anytime, my man, you know that.
All right. Well, listen, we really appreciate you guys hanging out with us this afternoon. Hopefully, this brother gave you some information that you could use and pass on and help other people in their lifetime. He gave you the information where you can contact them. Do not call him if you are just fucking around, because a lot of people don't have time what other people have time for. We'll see you guys later on in the week. Peace.
All right, my man. Y'all be